I'm trying. Watch out, doggo. No, you see? My leg!
Ooh!
Where we are right now is FX have started, so Simon is starting to, have things that look like smoke and fire, which is always a good thing because we need those to finish the movie. It is about a rocket after all. Lighting, we finally have shots to be able to do a review, which means that maybe we get some shots approved, like almost final.
So last week we had the Node Tools workshop with Dalai, Lucas, Jacques, and Simon. So most of the week we were talking a little bit about the upcoming designs for the features for tools that are made with nodes. But I've done some work on pets, and most of that was spent on making sure that a feature that Clement, who works on rendering for Eevee, he made a feature that makes rendering a little bit easier for us. So I can show you. So you'll see that the window pane here is transparent, shows the background, but it's a little bit noisy, and that's because we had to use hashed alpha. So the way that it makes transparency works is by just making the pixels very noisy and saying some of them are transparent and some of them are not transparent. That, with enough samples, gives you the illusion that the material is transparent. But alpha blend, on the other hand, is, let me just switch to that, is not noisy. And that's just because it's kind of done as a post-process, so the transparent material is put on top of everything. And now what Clement did is basically he gave us an additional task called transparency that outputs all the transparent materials. And so what I did was making sure that that option is integrated into all of our shots. So currently we do have about 20 shots that are undergoing lighting, which means they're already set up. That means that all these options have to be applied to all of the shots. And now all the shots render so much quicker and cleaner. So thanks, Clement.
Animation, they've been working a lot, doing a lot of stuff.
Try to forget all the pain.
Oh my god.
Sequence 20. We are almost done with it. Almost. Is the dog breaking into the rocket and trying out some buttons and the cat getting angry. Some stuff in needs to be approved, but there is a lot of green already on the screen, so that means okay. I think we are in the way of finishing this on time. Well, not on time. Almost on time. Bro!
Because you smell like cat.
I don't smell like cat.
Well, you do. You have a cat at home, so.
But I don't put the stuff next to the cat.
Oh yeah.
Now later I go home and the other idiot do the same thing.
Pheromone.
I mean, don't pee at least, bro. Just do that.
No.
Hey, bro. The fuck are you doing?
Okay, this is inappropriate. This is not.
I have to go talk to human resources, please. This guy is harassing me.
Jake is working a bit overtime to, make up for the delay, etc. And funny enough, it's harder for him to approve his own shots. So he puts a lot of stuff on, maybe it could be better for later, but that will be his own, problem.
And then... Well, everything is fucking broken, so let's talk about the score. The right tone, generally, is something that I wanted to to find in the composer, let's say, what they're able to do.
I have been working with different projects as an orchestrator and a composer. As a composer, most of my projects will be released in the end of the year. Music plays a very important role in this project since there's no dialogue. We're talking about a circus mood, and we have these different characters. We have a cat, he is very logical and analytical, and the dog, on the other hand, is the opposite. He's an artistic spirit, he's very creative. So I try to find elements to create this contrast, to highlight this their personality.
There was that example on her website that I said to her, let's make this for our movie. So that's my kind of like briefing in a nutshell.
Rick provided me a theme track in our first meeting, and it was a start point for the score. It was a guideline to understand the atmosphere and the tempo. But every time I start a new project, I look for my own reference, and I've been listening a lot of classical music, and I got inspired by Kabalevsky, Dvorak, and Korsakovic.
And then she started coming up with ideas, coming up with references and examples for first pass. And some of the scores that she provided clicked, some others weren't really syncing up with what I expected. And to be fair, like we were showing her a version that was half storyboarded, half layout, some parts animation, but also the timing was updated, so it's I feel a bit sorry for her to kind of like adapt to new timing every week.
Rick and Fiona, they guided me from the beginning. They helped me to understand their vision and the aesthetic of the movie.
I'm very happy with the collaboration, and I hope we can bring it home soon.
And what are we working on? Clouds, which is a big topic, something we've been not pushing aside, but we knew we had to do later. And so Vivian and Julian are spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to place stuff and what needs to be painted.
This is like on its own layout.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay.
So I can keep it to a minimum
Yeah.
in my painting.
Yep. And oh right. Give me the cropped frame as well, because you moved the background painting, so I don't have any frame of reference.
Yeah, but you heard that Rick might not want this to be like the...
I just care about the placement of the clouds. I need to orient myself. Unlike in other movies, this time we're fully relying on matte painting. So what I'm doing right now is really just creating a setup of planes in 3D space where we project the paintings of the clouds onto. And then there's also other shots where we have an individual sky painting just for particular camera angles. So this makes it somewhat easier, but there needed to be quite a bit of organizational effort of actually grouping all the shots together that would use the same clouds or the same sky, just in general the same setup. This time it's less versatile. We can't just reuse the same clouds and light them differently per each shot because they are painted. All the lighting information is already in the texture. So the angle and the position of the camera is the most important thing. And every one of the shots that uses the same should use the same matte paintings.
I'm actually working on an article, a blog post, talking a bit about how we approach stylized modeling. It's mostly from my point of view, but I refer to Vivian a lot, our art director. I just talk about the process and the things I've learned and the do's and don'ts a bit, that apply to this production. And I try to illustrate everything with images because, I really like having a visual blog post, not too much text. So I think a lot of users are, they like information to be communicated visually. If you go to studio.bernard.org,
You can take a look at the article and more content. You can take a look at the characters. And if you subscribe, you can take a look at what we do every week. So in our production logs. And you can download all the content. So you can just use it in your own productions or for educational purposes. So, yeah.
So, I mean, overall, it's going well. We are meeting our, milestones right now, so it's good. Things are all in 3D. Grease pencil effects are in place too. So we're hoping to catch up again after ANSI, because next week is going to be, nothing is going to move forward except for Magbo. Actually, he's going to be working. Yeah.